Hi guys, welcome to the Colour Cave. I'm Jem and I like to play with art stuff. Today's just a quick video. I now have a full set of the Chameleon alcohol markers, which you can see behind me just here, and I want to swatch them out. So I thought it would be good to share this video for anyone who was thinking about purchasing them or maybe wasn't sure about splashing out the cash on them. So at least it'll let you see what the colours come out like and how bright they are and all that kind of stuff. So hope you enjoy and let's get going. This is my little colour swatch book that I keep with me all the time. I did a bit of preparation before starting to film the video, and basically what I wanted to do was just map out all the colours in the set so that we could get a nice flow going when we're swatching out. Now I've done it over two separate pages which are single-sided. Obviously with being alcohol markers they will bleed through, hence the page in behind what we're doing as well to stop it soaking into the next swatch page in behind. When I'm swatching out colours, I just like to use a sort of scribbly motion, and you can see on the left hand page there, that's what I've done, so that is what I'm also going to do here, and off we go. This is a primary skin tone. It is a good base pen to use for building up layers of colour as well. It's just really good, and it's quite good for using as blending as well. If you want to use one of the colour tops, that's a good one to use if you want a bit more of a neutral idea. So you can see I'm working along the skin tones here, and there are quite a variety, but there seems to be quite a big jump between the paler tones and the darker tones. There isn't an awful lot in the way of mid-tones. But anyway, I'm actually quite impressed with the range of skin tones that are available. I think that for a set of 50 markers, you've got a really good variety there, and I was quite happy that I would be comfortable finding a colour that would suit me. I wasn't too sure about the old cinnamon there though. It seems awfully red for cinnamon, but hey, not my idea of fun, but hey, that's all right, isn't it? Moving into sort of the brown tones there, just the one or two at the darker end of the spectrum, and then off we go into the greens. Green is my favourite colour, so this was my my best bit. And there's quite a few shades of green as well. I wouldn't say that they're lacking in greens, particularly as they have the next swatch along, which is an olive colour, and that seems to be the only outlier, but it's good that it's there. And again, that ties in quite nicely with some of the browns. It was at this point here that I realised I'd made a mistake, and I had mixed up grass green and spring meadow. So rather than panicking about it, I just got the old Tipp-Ex out. I think, yeah, I can fix this, that's not a problem. I'm really glad I figured this out here and realised so that I could change it, because I didn't want to be putting the video out and then realising once you all had seen it that I'd made a mistake and then have to make a grovelling apology video. This really awkward trying to write over the Tipp-Ex in this book. I don't know why I struggled with it so much, but my handwriting's absolutely terrible when you see it next to the ones that I've already written out. Maybe I felt under pressure because I knew I was filming. Obviously, when I did the original swatches, I wasn't filming. I don't know, stage fright. Do you get stage fright with things like that? Who knows? Anyway, now that I've got it sorted out, we can get back to what we're actually supposed to be doing, swatchy swatch. I'm not all that impressed with the yellows in the set, I have to say. I think they have been sacrificed for a wider variety of some of the other colours. Basically, you have two yellows and that warm sunset colour, and that is it. So that's something that I was a little bit disappointed in. However, it's not the end of the world again, because we do have the option to blend with the colour tops. I feel the same way about the orange situation here as well. There's not a great deal of variety, and they do seem to be lacking compared to the skin tone and the sort of earthier and neutral tones. I do like the reds, even though again there are only a handful of them, but they are really, really vibrant, and they seem to go down really well as well, and they blend so well, especially with the lighter colours like the orange and the yellow. That's the first page complete. As you can see, we are pretty good to go on the next page, and they look so nice all together like that. I love seeing swatch pages. It's so bright and colourful and nice and cheery as well, and that's just what we want. They sit nice in the box as well. If you've seen the background in the colour cave when all the pen tops are showing, I like that too. It just brings a bit of cheer to the colour cave. Now you can see with the alcohol markers, obviously it has bled through quite considerably, and some colours are worse offenders than others. Also, obviously, it does depend on how much pressure you put down when you're colouring, and also how many layers you go back in with. Naturally, though, the darker colours do tend to bleed through and show through on the other side much more. So just remember, if you are going to use alcohol markers, either use bleed-proof paper that's designed specifically for alcohol markers, or make sure that you have something in behind, like I've done here, to ensure that you don't destroy anything underneath. After filming this section, I realised that PR4 is not deep violet. I have no idea where I got that from. I have no idea where it came from. PR4 is in fact called purple grape. I only realised it afterwards, so I think my head must have just been elsewhere when I was doing that. I'm just making things up for fun. Again, the purples are quite nice though, and we're moving into the sort of cooler shades now. They do have a set called Cool Tones, Blue Tones and Pastel Tones, and they all kind of jive quite well together. So this is us going into the pinks now. I am very familiar with the Peony pink because it was one of the first markers that I actually had, and I've used it quite a lot, and strangely it is a colour that I seem to be able to incorporate into skin tones with a bit of blending, and you wouldn't think by looking at it in the swatch. BG1 I thought was a really pale colour, and I was quite surprised when I started to scribble it out and it wasn't the colour I was expecting. I was like, oh, that's a lot darker than I remember. But I did figure out it's actually one of the ones further on that is very, very pale and you can hardly see it on the paper. And here it comes. This is BL2, Baby Blue. It just looks like a marker that's kind of run out of ink. So needless to say, that's not one of my favourites. I do like the turquoise colour and the aquamarine, and again they are lovely shades to blend into one another. They look absolutely fabulous blended in together. There is a good selection of blues and blue-green colours. That's something that is definitely covered off in a suitable fashion for a set of 50 pens. The darker blues, again, they're fine on their own, but if you are using the colour tops, they do tend to muddy the lighter colours if you're blending from a light colour to a dark colour. So that's something just to be aware of, again, if you're thinking about purchasing these and also using the colour tops. One thing I was quite surprised about is the selection of greys. I wasn't expecting anything tremendous from them, just because it is quite a small set of 50, and the greys can be a kind of like a hit or a miss in packs of that size. But there are quite a good variety of shades, and obviously of the warm and cool as well. I'm not entirely convinced about the neutral grey, but the warm greys in particular I think are very, very nice, and I'll definitely be using them. Last but not least, our friend black, and it is a very true black, and that's just a par for the course job. So there we go, all finished. There is our first page. Aren't they lovely? You can see the colours are all really vibrant, they're very nice indeed. And onto the second page, into the blues and the pinks and things. Overall, there is a reasonable balance for a set of 50 markers, and I'm very, very pleased with them, and I'm looking forward to getting full use out of them going forward. So I hope this was informative for you and you enjoyed it. Ta-da! We're all finished. Thumbs up, guys, please, if you liked the video, and you can leave a comment down below. Also, you can hit subscribe if you want to see more videos. There's a button somewhere over on that side to subscribe. So once again, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time in the Colour Cave. Bye-bye.